Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday. Waiting for everyone to join. Hi, everybody. Another Instagram live. I'm not going to let an eye thing stop me from showing up. Hi, Kimmy. Hi, Skies Holistic Coaching. Lantana. Hi, Lauren. D. Marjama 20. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Yogi Joe. Yoga Joe guy. Mother of Glow. Pamela. Hi, Chad. Dude, you guys. I don't know about y'all, but my ass is getting kicked this week. Holy. I'm not going to hide it. I'm not pretending. Jesus Louises. Man, I know we talk about this all the time. I talk about it all the time. But this shift in consciousness, what up? This shift in the collective consciousness, this shift in our energetic consciousness, it is physical, right? Hi, Robbie. Hello, my friend. How are you? Are you still in Florida? I was thinking about you, I think, yesterday. I did not get punched in the eye, although energetically, there could be some beating myself up as of late. I woke up Saturday morning with a broken blood vessel under my eye for no reason. I also got a chipped tooth for no reason on Tuesday. What else happened? I don't know. It's not lost on me, right? And I have a in-person seminar I'm doing on Friday, and it's virtual as well. So thank God I'm not super vain. Thank God I am not all about my looks, because we would have problems. But yeah, I this is a physical evolution, you know. It's oh yay, I'll see you this weekend, Parker. You know, one of the things that happened on the planet in 1987. So in 1987, there's this experience that happened on an energetic level. They call it the harmonic convergence. I'm not going to go too deep into it. It is in my book, The Divine Design. But the harmonic convergence was when the planet and the human collective as a whole started to move into the physical evolution in consciousness, which means that we were now going to start to physically, our bodies were going to physically start to shift into higher dimensional fields, higher vibrations, higher frequencies. Now you're thinking 1987, that was what, 40 years ago? It takes a while for us to catch up to what is energetically occurring on the planet. And a lot of us really started to kick into gear in 2020. Some of us in 2007, some of us in 2012. These are all kind of years or time frames on the planet where we got an energetic kick in the ass. The frequency turned up really high. Frequency turned up real high in 2020. Frequency turned up real high in 1987. It turned up really high in 1997. It turned up really high in 2007. Turned up really high in 2012. And as the frequency starts to turn up on the planet and in our own bodies, we start to physically experience these shifts more and more. What that means is you start to feel more and more. It's not just this like awareness in your mind, right? Of like, oh, we're healing and we're moving through trauma and we're shifting frequencies and I'm ascending, or whatever word you want to use. That's very much a mind thing, right? Like you're you're reading a book and you're learning things. That's mind. It's different than experiencing it in your body. Okay? When you experience something in your body, it becomes physical. You feel it. All right. And so what's happening right now for us is that this is no longer about understanding what's happening in the world and like, oh yeah, I understand consciousness. Oh, I understand trauma. I understand shadow work. I understand those things, right? It's like, okay, that's great. Like, congrats. But now you're going to actually physically, there's a physical shift. And it's not just happening where your actual physical body is going to start changing, right? You're going to feel all these different things, but you're going to feel. You're going to be shown physically in your world things that you need to see over and over, right? And one of the greatest things that happened to so many of us in 2022 or in 2020 is that the whole world was able to start to go through this physical shift, right? Everything sort of stopped on the planet. Everybody had to get quiet. Everybody was sort of forced to go inward if you actually paid attention to what was happening. People were leaving your lives. New people were coming into your lives. It was very visceral. You could touch it. You could see it. You couldn't ignore it any longer, right? And when you start to like physically see things, you can't ignore it. So a lot of what's happening for us right now is that we are physically starting to see and be shown what we can't ignore anymore. Relationships, friendships, jobs, you're starting to see your behaviors in ways that you never have. You're starting to hear and see your thoughts and your limiting beliefs in ways that you never have. It's not getting quieter, right? It's getting louder and louder. And the reason that it's getting louder and louder and louder is because this is a natural process of evolution. You can't stop it. You can't change it. You can't diverge. So as the body, your beautiful body, begins to and continues to hold more light in it, inevitably, naturally, you will continue to see whatever it is that is holding you back from being able to step into the vibrational states that your body is holding. This is why it is so important to not fight against what is showing up. And this is why it is so important to learn to balance being in and humbling yourself like a humble pie to what is being shown to you, while you simultaneously practice ways to assist yourself in going through it, as opposed to pretending that it's not happening. We can't pretend any longer. You know, and the more that you can remember what is going on, there is a deep knowingness within you that there is something larger happening here that is like nothing that you've ever experienced before. And on some subtle or large level, you know that this is a shift. There is something happening. Life is not the same as it was 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, for many of us. It just isn't. Because this is the accelerated evolution in our consciousness. So the more you remember this, the easier it is to navigate it, because you stop beating yourself up. You stop making things wrong, right? You stop acting like whatever is happening isn't supposed to be happening. Right? Everything that's happening is designed to be happening. Everything. If you have addictions, if you have compulsions, if you have behaviors, if you have limiting thoughts and beliefs, if you have anything that is not for your highest good, that you've been living in for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years, I promise you it's going to start to boil up and boil up. And many of us are going through this. And the less we hide from it and the more we talk about it, the more it becomes normal. We normalize this physical shift. Thank you so much for the badge. We normalize this, Jesse. We normalize this. You know, the thing about it is that all of us remember what we dropped into and incarnated into. We all remembered that we wanted to be here on the planet at this time. We all remembered that this would be the moment during the planet's history that there would be an actual physical movement, an actual physical evolution. You know, one of the things that is important to remember that is very difficult to remember because so many of you are having pain in your bodies. You're having pain in your own mental mind. You know, there's a lot of pain being experienced, so it's very difficult. But one of the things to sort of try to tap into is this remembrance that to be able to shift, you guys, physically. So to be able to be in a physical form, all right, this very dense, heavy physical form, and to shift frequencies, to shift vibrations, I think you forgot how insane that is. It is very, very, very difficult for a dense physical form to shift frequencies and vibrations. It's not easy. We are at the lowest dimensional field that you can be in before there is no ability to create. So when you go into a second or first dimensional field, there is no existence really. It's almost like there is nothing to do or be. There's no existence really, other than form. So it's almost non-existent, right? The third dimension is the lowest dimensional field that consciousness can enter into and still participate, like in an awakened state. So it is very low. It is very slow frequency. And so to understand that we are literally in one of the densest dimensional fields you can be in as light and as consciousness, and we are stuck in a physical form, and we are literally shifting vibrations and frequencies within this form, that is insane. It's really insane. It's magical, it's courageous, but it's insane. Right? And so we have to start holding these different awarenesses and lenses as we go through this. This doesn't make it easier, right? It doesn't make the pain go away, or the challenges go away, or the physical things that are popping up go away. But what if you started using the lens of, and I say this all the time because I so deeply believe this in all of my being, everything is being served to you by you and by higher dimensional guides that you have around you, whether you understand that or not. You know, once I got this blood vessel popped under my eye, I was like, I got it. I don't need any more signs. I know exactly what you guys are telling me. I'm done. I give up. I'm going to stop fighting against what I'm fighting against. I'm done. Right? And there's this deeper surrendering. You know, and you are going to be shown in every single way that you can, by you and by your guides, what you need to see. Don't look at it as a negative thing. You know, when I chipped my tooth and this happened with my eye and all these other things that are happening in my life right now personally, did I get mad? No. Did I get angry? No. Did I lose my shit? No. I was like, holy cow, what am I not seeing? What else? What do I need to surrender deeper into right now? Get my attention, please. And instead of, why is this happening? I can't believe this is happening. That is a very disempowered state. You are literally unconsciously or consciously guiding yourself through this evolution. You're guiding yourself through this. Nothing that's happening, nothing that's showing up for you, nothing is an accident. Nothing is designed to fuck you over and say, oh, good luck. Nothing. That's how divine this whole design is. That doesn't make it easier, and that doesn't make you able to surrender and accept what's happening. I understand life is very difficult and challenging for people right now. But make no mistake, this is so much bigger than what you can comprehend in your very small, third-dimensional human mind. This is very big. This is very divine. This is such a massively perfected process of evolution. And the power that you have within you to guide yourself through this is beyond your remembrance. And every single thing that is showing up for you right now, the fears, the anxiety, the stress, the breakups, the lack, the whatever it is, literally the physical things, can you see it through the lens of you assisting you in this massive evolutionary shift in consciousness? What lens do you want to use? The more that we can remember this, the easier it will be. I feel like I'm a record and I say the same things over and over and over again. But it's only because the density in which we are living in is really heavy. I want you to imagine that, that at one point in your awareness, you were flying. Thank you so much for the badge, Sun Celia. I want you guys to imagine that at one point in your existence, you were floating, you were flying, you were free. Okay? Just imagine jumping off a cliff and you just, right? You're just like light, flying, free. And then I want you to imagine that literally in a second, you are dropped down into like one of those banana slugs. Do you know what a banana slug is? Like a worm. And all of a sudden you're dropped into a really dense, really heavy form. And there's not a lot of movement. And it feels claustrophobic and tight and restrictive and heavy. That's what it's like to incarnate into the human body. And when you start to awaken up into the fact that you're this banana slug, well, you're in a banana slug body, but you are beginning to feel yourself flying again, except that you have to stay in the banana boat. In the banana worm, bug. You guys know what a banana slug is? You can't leave the banana slug. You have to stay in that physical form, but you begin to feel lighter and lighter. You start moving into those states where you were flying off the cliff. But you can't escape the physical form. You can't escape that you are in the banana slug. You're going slow, right? And you're shifting energies. All of us, every single one of us, is learning how to stay in the physical body, to embrace the physical body, to love the physical body, to trust the physical body, which means you trust your intuition, you trust your resonance, what is your knowingness, you trust your voice, you trust your emotions. You trust that the body is doing its best to move you through this, because it is. You trust that the body is not against you. The body is not a disappointment. That is not how the body is designed to be. The body is not failing you. The body is actually the one thing that is moving you into higher states of consciousness. It's not you. The you that thinks you're doing this is egoic. The version of you that I call the higher self is in a surrendered state inside the body, letting the body show it what is next. It's letting the body lead it. But see, we are very egoic and we like to be in control. So we say to ourselves, I'm in charge of my body. Bullshit. No, you're not. My mind is more powerful than my body. Yes, it is, but it's not designed to be. Your body is a much more complex, intuitive, and intelligent consciousness than your mind. But your mind has the ability to override your body. And as soon as we stop trying to control everything, which is in the mind and is egoic, and we let the body actually do what it's here to do and guide us through this, you will surrender into the body more and more. What does that mean, to surrender into the body more and more? It means that you, first of all, you feel your breath. Second of all, you feel heaviness, you feel the density. This idea that we are going to be kind of floating out and just like, whoa, I don't feel anything. That's not embodiment. That's not being grounded. You should feel heavy because you're in a heavy body. Even as you evolve into higher states of consciousness, when you come out of some sort of elevated state during a meditation, you should be feeling grounded into your body. You should feel your toes and your ankles and your kneecaps. You should feel the heaviness, right? You should feel it. You shouldn't be floating out. You shouldn't feel like weightless. The other thing about being inside the body, right, is that you're going to feel 1,000, 15, 17 billion things more than you ever have before. You're going to hear your thoughts more. You're going to possibly hear other people's thoughts. You're going to start feeling other people in ways that you never have before. Why? Because you're inside your body now. Now you get to play the energetic game. Now the only way to play this game, the only way to be and beat this system and master this physical world is to be in your body. It's to feel heavy. It's to feel the uncomfortable. It's to feel the pain. It's to feel the lack of trust. All of that. I think one of the most difficult things for us to do is to get back in the body. You know, to get back into the body. Anyway, I got to get going. I love you guys so much. Thanks for being here. And I will save this. I am going to be doing an in-person, messed up eye and all, I'll be doing an in-person seminar starting Friday in Sedona. In-person tickets are sold out, but there are virtual tickets available. You can find it on in my bio and on my website. It's going to be a very powerful 3-day seminar I'm doing. It starts Friday, and then it goes all day Saturday and Sunday. And it's going to be real. No bullshit. No bypassing. It's all about how do you stand in this fire? How do you stand in the human experience and not run from it? How do you devour everything that is showing up and feel empowered? Be the master in it. You know, it's all about being able to stand in this and not run and not hide. That is the most empowered state that we can be in, is that we remember what we're doing and who we are and why we're here. We stop running. We stop trying to move ourselves into these higher frequencies. That in and of itself is a bypassing, I'm afraid of what I'm in, so I'm going to try to force myself out. There is such a freedom that comes when you stop trying to change any of what you're experiencing. When you realize that in the idea of trying to change something or move into something better, you are literally telling yourself you're not safe to feel what you're feeling. That you have to be afraid of what you're experiencing. True freedom and true empowerment is when you no longer run from what you're experiencing and you realize that you have all of these tools that you can use simultaneously. There's a big difference between being in what you are in and using tools to assist you in what you're going through, i.e., I am feeling anxious, I'm going to go sit outside. Not, I'm feeling anxious, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of this? How did I get out of this? I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. That's a resistance. That's something's wrong with me. I'm not okay feeling this. This is scary. This is not okay. This is bad, as opposed to I'm feeling anxious. I'm going to go sit outside and move this anxiety through me. It's a different state of being. Very different state of being. And most of us have been trained, programmed, and controlled to change, to fix, to bypass out of what we are in. And all that does is perpetuate this idea that we are not safe to be here. And that the only way that you are safe to be here is if you are feeling what you think you should be feeling, doing what you think you should be doing. So join me these 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, virtually. It's going to be very, very empowering. I'm very, very excited. It's called remembrance. Remembrance, that's what we're doing here. We're remembering. It's all a remembrance, you guys. That's it. It's a remembrance. So anywho, I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Mwah.